We got the man, the myth, the legend, Gary Big Daddy Goodridge in the house. Everything you did in life, you wanted pain for everyone in your path, and you had confidence. You hated to lose, right?
Yes.
Whether it was fighting or arm wrestling.
Amen. Had to be pain.
Never wanted to lose.
Yes, losing is the worst thing you can do. Without trying. You have to try.
How did you prep yourself for some of these arm wrestling battles or these fights in the past?
I never really had problems with arm wrestling. Arm wrestling is just it came natural to me. Never really had to prepare. It's so much different now, arm wrestling, than it was when I was a world champion multiple times. It's so much different. Um, wow, I was impressed when I went to Istanbul and how they do arm wrestling now. It's strange. It's strange. There's no. If you're into it, then you can move ahead. If you're not into it, you can't move ahead. You got to be into it. You know, when I did it, there was smaller tournaments that you could get better at before you graduate to where things are today. Things today, they're not going to bring on any new arm wrestling. They're going to get rid of them. They're only going to be the top guys there. But how long are you going to have only just the top guys there?
I know when I talked to you before in the past, you were just about to get some shoulder replacements.
Yeah.
Did
Both done.
Did you do rehab for that?
Yeah, I did rehab for a while. I should have done it a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How about your feats of strength when you were training? I know you train like your butt off when you would train, right?
Yeah. The thing is, anything you want to do, you have to put your mind and head and body into it. A lot of people want to put their bodies into it, or you have to put everything. You have to put your mind and your body. Combine the two. It's you got to go through a lot if you want to be the best. You got to go through a lot. And if you're not willing to do that extra bit, you're never going to get anywhere.
What was some of the curling exercises you did for bicep for arm wrestling?
Yeah, I used to do a lot of hammer curls like crazy, and bench curls. I used to, yeah.
With the barbell?
Yes. And a lot of chin ups, one arm chin ups. Yeah. Yes. And when you can't do any more chin ups, then you do a flex arm hang. You hold it in a position in a chin up, and then you let it gradually drop by itself. Try to hold it the whole time as you're falling down.
Kind of starting with like an isometric and then letting it turn into an eccentric.
You can't just pull it there and then be done. You have to hold it and let it release itself. Yeah.
How was your rehab experience when you were a fighter? Did you have rehab?
No, I really never got too much rehab bullshit going on. I had rehab after I was finished.
I think that nowadays it's important between fights, between arm wrestling to rehab, get that blood flow so you can actually protect yourself for future fights, build up that resilience, but also not break down things too much.
Quite yes. What you're trying to do is you're trying to move the blood flow around in these areas. That's exactly what it is. The more blood flow you have, or the faster in blood flow you have, is the better. So therefore, once you're training, you'll naturally have rehab. Things will naturally, if you got a sprain, it will naturally get itself fixed back, because the blood flow is moving.
When you were training for your fights, did you train every day or did you have days off?
2 on, 1 off, 3 on, 2 off.
And what did you do on your days off?
As little as possible. Keep my feet elevated. Try not to touch the ground with my feet.
So going back to back pressure, talking to Devin, he loves rising. So when you were training for the hammer curls and the back pressure, did you ever focus on your wrist at all coming up and doing that?
Never.
Never. So always arm, full arm.
Always arm. Yeah.
Did you do any training for your wrists other than wrist curls?
No. Just wrist curls. Yeah. John Brzenk was the major puller, so I used to train specifically to beat him. Everybody else I had no problem with. I just had to be able to beat John Brzenk, so I just trained specifically for him.
Did you ever train with John?
Never trained. After the tournaments, of course, we'll
after pulling.
Yes. After the tournaments, we get together and we'll pull each other. There's always a pulling after the tournament, after any tournament. So we get together and I test him out on there. He tests me out, and of course, you're just doing a regular pull, but we're trying to learn how to beat the other person. So that's
Are you
how
really
that.
doing a regular pull, or are you trying to win every one?
No, I'm trying to win every one. I got to be the top dog at everything you do.
If you were losing or getting the bottom, the other side of the coin, they were cheating, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, you have to put that in your mind.
Yeah.
Because you have to never accept that you lost. And if you never accept that you lose, then you always go forward hard. Well, that's how it worked for me. If I lost because somebody cheated, somehow they cheated or the referee cheated for them. It was not because that I lost. It's not because I wasn't good enough. You have to tell your brain that I have to tell my brain that in order to operate properly.
Right. I remember also in the past, you told me in addition to hammer curls, you used to do the pegboard curls and pegboard holds, right? Did you did you do holds on that, or did you actually climb them?
I used to climb them because it opened it up and pulled it back. It opened it up and pulled it back. So that's the movement that you want. You want to open it up and pull it back. Open it up and pull it back.
Right.
It was perfect. I love that.
Janice Mullins, I think, has that in his gym, one of the high elite pullers. But for everyone that doesn't know, you're pulling the pegs out and lifting into a new hole each time and pulling yourself up, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Going back to John, when did you finally get that feeling like, I know how to beat this guy?
Well, you never had that feeling because we both switch it up. We always switch it up. We both switched up different ways of pulling, different styles of pulling. So what I did realize at the end, when I was almost starting my my fighting career, is that he didn't have any speed at all. He didn't have any. He was strong as bull, but slow as a turtle. He couldn't accelerate from 0 to 100. He had to go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, and he had to go through the steps. Where I was blasted from 0 to 100 right away, and that would throw him off. That would get me, so I would start arm wrestling him with his arm 3/4 of the way down. So it was easier for me to pull that last quarter, or even that halfway. I could pull it back. He was never able to start quick.
And he was always good at control, but you just broke him off that control before anyone else could, basically.
Yeah. It had to be fast. And once you get somebody in the headset that you're going to beat them, that you're better than them, and play with their minds like that. You don't have to say nothing, but it's just your mind. Your mind tells you, hey, this guy's better, I'm going to lose. Or this guy's better, I better watch what I do. And once you tell your mind that, it becomes easier to beat them in other aspects of the game. That once I told him I can beat him at the speed, then I would beat him in the hook, going in the hook and then pull him over. Then it was that I could take his hand, because you have to let the people know that you can beat them. Once you allow that, it makes it much easier in other positions.
When you're talking about that mindset too, that kind of plays a big part with long arm versus short arm, big hand versus small hand. Doesn't matter in the long run.
Yes. You'll find people with the smaller hand slipping. They pull their hands out because they don't want to go on the straps. Well, that's what John and I strap masters. We're strap masters where you can use the strap as your fingers, so you can wrap all the way around somebody's hand. Easier to take it, easier to stabilize it, easier to bend it. Makes things so much easier. So we were good at this. He was good at the strap. I had to be good at the strap. And you learn so much from being in the strap, what you can and can't do. If you're not used to being in the strap, you'll never be good in the strap.
Would you load before matches?
It all depends on who is arm wrestling. If somebody was a great loader, I would never allow them to load on me, or I wouldn't load on them, because they'll pull me, and it messes your head up. What you have to do, if you know somebody's a big loader, you let them load all you want, my hand's going to pick up. Load all you want, my hand's going to come off, my elbow's going to come off, because you're loading too hard. So I would load everything would be like a feather, very light, very nothing. and then I'll wait for the goal down to blast from 0 to 100 right away, and you'll get that arm.
So you liked it better when there was no loading because you can get that speed faster.
It all depends who was arm wrestling. Everybody, like arm wrestling, you can't arm wrestle everybody the same.
The same.
You gotta be arm wrestled different. All depends. If I was arm wrestling a strong loader, like somebody that was strong, I had to face them that way. I had to face them that how I had to blast on their hand because their wrist and their arm was too strong for me. I've got a small hand, a relatively small hand for a heavyweight. So I never allowed people to load on me to mess my head up. You know, I had to control the game.
Was John Brzenk harder to pull than Cleve Dean in your opinion then?
Well, they both gave different aspects of the game. Cleve Dean was difficult. It was difficult simply because it was a mountain I had to climb. So therefore, it was different for me. It was hard for me, very very hard. I had to go against, and for as far as I know, that Cleve Dean pulled me before he pulled John. So I had to find a different way to pull him all on my own. And first time I pulled him, I lost. Oh man, I didn't lose that bad. I think I can beat this guy. Second time when it did, I won, and the third time I won because you have to have the experience of pulling somebody in order to beat them if they're that much better than you are. You have to have the experience to be done right. There's so many different things that can be done in order to beat somebody, and you just need to find the right combination.
Did the physicians that you did your shoulder replacements, did they tell you any restrictions on your shoulder, or are you able to just work out as hard as you want?
Well, I'm going to work out as hard as I want, regardless of what they say. It's gonna wear down. It's not a proper shoulder bone and muscle, so it's gonna wear down. It's gonna wear out quicker than a natural, obviously. So he said that I was told that how I was too young to have it done. That's a while ago. I was too young to have it done.
Yeah.
People that have this are in their late 70s, early 80s, so that that's it. You're not going nowhere after that. So I was quite young to have it. I was in my 40s, of course, and I had it. And, it's supposed to wear out probably in the next 2 years, 3 years.
Have you ever tried arm wrestling training again? I know you don't like to lose on the table, but have you ever tried to rise and try to practice again or not really?
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's a huge empty spot. So I'm afraid I'm going to damage myself. There's absolutely nothing there.
What about when you went to Japan? You went against a bunch of guys in a row, right?
Yeah, I went twice to do 100.
Okay.
Then after my first 100, during the middle of the year, this Japanese company called me. Said, "Hello, Gary Goodridge." I said, "Yes, how are you?" And they said, "This is Japan calling. Would you come to Japan to arm wrestle 1,000 people?" That's 1,000. How was that? And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I think so. Yeah, I'll come to arm wrestle, and we'll give you 24,000, 1 million yen.
Mm-hmm.
It went for doing it, and another 1 million yen if you do it without losing." So I said to myself, "Man, I ain't losing it at all."
No way. A big
people. I ain't losing. That was the most money I ever won in arm wrestling in my life.
A big payday.
Oh, I've never heard of it, and I don't think they pay that much in arm wrestling now anymore. I got 1 million yen for doing it, so it was $28,000.
Gotcha. Have you ever gone back or no?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever gone back?
Oh, I used to live over there, so to speak. I was involved in the fighting organization over there for years.
Nice.
I spent years of my life over there, pretty much, yeah.
Did you ever have any other injuries while arm wrestling?
No, not at all. I never hurt myself.
How about while training for different events or tournaments? Did you ever have tendonitis or some strains of your muscle that you had to deal with?
You know what? I was one of the fortunate ones. I never had a problem with that stuff. My body adjusted to it, and everything was smooth. I had a great time. It was very simple, very easy. Just rest.
Yeah, just rest.
Just
Do
rest.
nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Gotcha. So after that time in Japan, did you ever get to travel to other countries for arm wrestling specifically, or not really?
Yeah, I traveled some places for arm wrestling. Where I go? Went to England, London, England. I went to Sweden. I went to Germany. I went to a few places.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I remember talking to you in the past. Your favorite tournament was Over the Top in the 1980s. Is that correct?
Yes. Everybody's favorite tournament at the time.
Yeah.
Beat that.
Tell me about that tournament.
Well, well, you had to graduate to get the whole preliminary tournaments around the world. If you won that, you get to move on to you get invited to the main one. So people from around the world were all at this tournament. Thousands of people. It was amazing. It's held at the Las Vegas Hilton. Back when, man, it was just great. I had a great time.
Were you in a heavyweight back then?
I was heavyweight, not super heavyweight. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I came fifth to Rick Vardell.
Awesome.
He came fifth or fourth, and I came the next after him.
Did you stay friends with him after as well?
Yeah, we're still friends today.
Awesome. Isn't that great how the connection building from arm wrestling has continued to this day?
Yeah.
Devin has that ArmBet app where everyone can see different training places and where arm wrestlers are throughout the whole world, and they can kind of come and train together now. It's pretty cool. When you were doing your MMA training, how did you break up each of those training days, the 3 on 2 off? Did you do some days of groundwork, some days stand up, or did you kind of spread it out?
I broke it up to however I felt like, because back then at the time it wasn't as specific as it is now. You just train.
Gotcha.
Train hard. The reason why I was mixing them both up is because I needed them both. You need the cardio in this, and you need cardio in that. So you had to do them, because if you're just running, you can run a million miles, and you're not gonna be able to last in fighting. It's just a different cardio. You have to have both cardios. There's two of them. Endurance, and then there's long. It's just, you have to have both cardios.
What do you feel about cardio for arm wrestling?
Arm wrestling is a fast sport. Things happen in less than a second. You got to be able to move less than a second. If it is going to be long, you may be there for 60 seconds. But very rare do people have a match. I was a natural heavyweight because
Gotcha.
Going into high school, I was over 200 pounds. So from there, it just went on. By the time I finished high school, it was 250. So
250, okay.
I was always around there.
How old were you when you started arm wrestling then?
I was 15.
15? And how much pounds were you at that age? Because that's right before the end of high school, right?
Yeah, 100.
Okay, so you were close already to the 50 almost.
Yeah.
So you gained a lot. You gained a lot of power and strength in those last 2 years of high school.
Yes.
What age would you say that you were in your prime for arm wrestling?
Yeah. I think 23 to 28. I think to start from a zero to go 0 to 100, it's hard to stop anybody at that.
Yeah.
You got a hard hit from it's just a blink of an eye. You're there with anybody. So regardless of the power, when you start with your arm an inch away from the pad, it's a big it's a huge wall to climb back.
I love your confidence and your hate for losing, that winning mindset. You just got to give it your all every time.
Just give it. Just throw it.
Always ready for war. Knock them out or be knocked out.
Amen. That's how it was.
When you are, let's just say you're in a match and you're ready to get that power. You're ready to go right before go and hit them down. When you go yourself, are you trying to hammer curl right at the start of the match? Are you trying to go to the side? What's the one thing you think about?
Both.
Same time.
over to your shoulder, to your opposite shoulder, and down at the same time.
So this arm going to this shoulder and down at the same time.
Yeah.
That's your number one thing of thought right before the match.
Yeah. Well, because everything's different. Some people you just need to control, and some people you just want. Okay, you want to show people that you're strong. You need to show people that you're powerful, because people that you're showing they're powerful are also going to be intimidated from you watching your match. So you got to hold on to somebody, bring them down nice and slow, and smile the whole time. Although kicking your ass, you got to do it. You understand? Yes. Or you got to flash people, and you can blink just to show other people your strength. Now, when other people see your strength, they talk to the other people, and then they talk to other people. Man, that guy's killer strong. So what you leave the impression on their trainers, people that they train with, that Gary is friggin' powerful. I've seen him do this and I've seen him do that. It is good. And it's always nice to play with somebody as well. Because when you play with somebody, of course you humiliate them, but it sends the message out loud to the crowd. Do you understand that?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm the best. As stupid as it may sound, that's all part of the game.
I don't think it sounds stupid. I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Did you learn arm wrestling from a family member?
No, I learned arm wrestling from a guy named Phil Stoppard. He's my best friend. We've been friends since arm wrestling.
Really?
Arm wrestling brought us together, and yeah, we're still friends today.
That's awesome. Anything you want to leave with your fans and the arm wrestling community?
Yeah, pull hard, and I was told by a friend of Devin's. I was just saying, hey, what about the hook? You guys need the hook. He said, what's the hook? There's no such thing as hook no more. I said, what about the top rope? Oh, there's no such. What? There's only the hook at the top rope. What else are you gonna do? You know. So anyways, just taking the shit. I got him on Andrew Martin, great guy. Love him, but let everyone know there is a hook and there is a top rope.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Gary, I really, really appreciate you coming on. I thank you for coming on, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
No problem. Happy humping, brother.
Have a great day.